Welcome into the Alabama Football Report. I am your host today, Chris Daughtry. And before we get into today's show, Chuck McDonald, four-star cornerback from Mater Dei High School, took a visit to Alabama last weekend, and now he's being predicted to commit to the Crimson Tide by both 247 Sports and On3. So if you are excited about Chuck McDonald possibly committing to the Crimson Tide, spam RTR in the comments section for me. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, this would be a really, really big get for Alabama if they indeed land Chuck McDonald. So spam RTR in the comments section right now. On today's show, we're going to be breaking down the official visits coming in for Alabama this weekend. Now, this list is mainly off of what 247 Sports has reported and Bama Online as well. We're going to go to two players to start off on today's show because they are currently both committed to the Crimson Tide coming in for an official visit this weekend. Darrell Duke Johnson and Jaedon Harmon, both linebackers in this class. Darrell Johnson, a five-star, number 26 overall, the number 3 linebacker in this class, number 6 player from the state of Georgia. I love getting Georgia commits just to stick it to Kirby Smart for leaving us. Jaedon Harmon, 4-star recruit, number 146 overall, number 18 linebacker in this class, and the number 21 player as well from the state of Georgia. Both of these guys seem pretty solid in their commitment, so just another chance for Alabama to get them in here for another official visit and possibly do some more recruiting for the Crimson Tide themselves. This is a really, really big one for Alabama. 5-star cornerback Naheem Offord, number 6 overall in the 2025 recruiting class, the number 2 corner and the number 1 player from the state of Alabama. He is currently committed to Ohio State. He's from Birmingham, so, from Tuscaloosa, that's 45 minutes, an hour drive, depending on kind of where in Birmingham you're at. He's from Parker High School, so we will see, where Alabama can possibly, get in his recruitment. He was at Auburn last weekend, so he's still taking visits. So I wouldn't say the door is absolutely shut at all. He'll be at Alabama this weekend, Oregon on June 14th, and Ohio State on June 21st. Now, Alabama is also still going after Dejon Lee. He's the number 4 corner in this class, so even if we miss on Naheem Offord, not being able to keep him in the state of Alabama, they still have, some other guys that they're going after in this recruiting class. And, I would not, say Alabama's out of his recruitment at all. This is the pinned comment on today's show. We asked it yesterday as well. Do you guys think Alabama can flip Naheem Offord from Ohio State? Type Y for yes or N for no in the comment section. That ad comes here on YouTube, which it probably will. Go down there to the comment section and let me know. Reply to the pinned comment, Y for yes or N for no. Next player on this list, a big-time offensive lineman recruit for Alabama that they really, really like. That's Michael Carroll. He's a 4-star recruit in this recruiting class, number 201 overall, the number 10 interior offensive lineman, and the number 6 player from the state of Pennsylvania. Now, if you remember, he's visited Alabama a couple times already. One of those times was on A-Day, and he ran into Landon Dickerson, of all people, at the airport. So I'm sure he put, a good word or two in for him. Seems like right now Alabama and Michigan are the top 2 teams for him right now, but I would also not rule out Penn State in his recruitment either. He's still an open book. He visited as well when Nick Saban, was still here. I believe that one was an unofficial visit as well. But he's been to Tuscaloosa a few times, coming in for an official visit this time. Alabama does not yet have an offensive lineman in this recruiting class. We'll come back to that a little more later, but we'll keep an eye on where things sit with Michael Carroll. Dawson Merritt, a wolf target, if you will, that Alabama's going after. That's what everybody's calling him. He is the number 11 linebacker in this class, number 92 overall. I really love watching this guy's film. He's just really fun to watch. He's all over the field. He does everything. He's just one of those Swiss Army knives that, Kane Womack really, really likes on the defensive side of the ball when it comes to those, wolf outside linebackers / whatever you want to call it. He can play out in space. He can cover, out in space as well. So this is a guy that Alabama really, really likes. And right now it's between Alabama and Nebraska. He asked a couple of days ago on Twitter, he made 2 separate posts. Alabama fans, show some love. Nebraska fans, show some love. And unfortunately, the Nebraska fans were showing a whole lot more love. So, if you guys really want this guy to possibly commit to the Crimson Tide, go to his Twitter and show him some love in the comment section of those tweets. He will also be on campus for Alabama this weekend. We want to give a shout out to our sponsor today. That is Fanatics. Go to chatsports.com/NFL jerseys to find all the former Alabama football players who are off to the NFL now. They've got J.C. Latham, Tyron Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dallas Turner, Jace McClellan, any of those guys who were drafted in the NFL draft this year off to the NFL. That's chatsports.com/NFL jersey. The link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. There should also be a link right over there that you guys can click on. You just click on that. It'll take you to Fanatics, the Fanatics website, and you just might have to filter to find whoever you want. But they have all the guys who have signed the contract with Fanatics. They don't have Marvin Harrison Jr., but they do have former Alabama players on there. So that link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. One more time, that's chatsports.com/NFL jerseys. Douglas, I believe his last name is Utu. That's how I would pronounce it anyways. He's a 4-star interior offensive lineman, number 2 interior offensive lineman overall, number 67 overall in this recruiting class, and the number 2 player from the state of Nevada. He's taken visits to Washington, Michigan, Nebraska, Alabama. And Alabama, they view him, he's 6'4", 300 pounds. So it's being reported that they like him either at guard or tackle, can play either position. If you look at what Alabama's got right now, there's a few guys on the roster right now that could probably play either guard or tackle. Look to Jaedon Roberts, of all people. I mean, he's at that right guard position, just a massive, massive human being. But, staying sturdy on the interior of that offensive line, I don't doubt if Alabama needed Jaedon Roberts to kick out the tackle that he could do it as well. So we'll see, what happens with Douglas Utu here this coming weekend, but another big target for Alabama. Nick Townsend, he's a 4-star tight end. 247 has him listed as an athlete, so kind of reminds me a little bit of like Caleb Odom, where, he was recruited as a tight end, and Alabama immediately was like, no, this kid is a wide receiver, absolutely. And the other day, after Keelan Russell flipped his commitment from SMU to Alabama, Townsend immediately took to Twitter and tweeted QB1 at Keelan Russell. So seems like he likes that fit for Alabama and Keelan Russell. We'll see what Alabama can do here. It seems like it's between USC and Alabama. He was at USC last weekend, and he does also have another visit with Texas A&M coming up as well. So, there's still a lot of moving parts when it comes to Nick Townsend, but this is another kid. I really, really like his film. He's super athletic, and, like I say about a lot of guys, you get them on campus. You show them what Alabama football is really about. You show them, all the bells and whistles, man, that the athletic facility down there at the Malmore Athletic Facility is absolutely incredible. So you show those guys some of that stuff, and a lot of these guys just talk about Kalen DeBoer and, kind of how down-to-earth he is. And, I think that goes a long way when it comes to, these kids, especially, he's from Texas. So, I mean, Texas isn't too far away, but, especially like those West Coast kids coming all the way across the country to play football, possibly for Alabama, I think it goes a long way knowing that you're getting somebody as a head coach who really, really cares about you. Make sure you guys are subscribed now to the Alabama Football Report. Not a whole lot going on right now, but we do have a lot of recruiting stuff going on for you guys. So make sure you are subscribed right here. We got a whole lot more coming in the regular season. We'll have watch parties this year, and who knows? We still might have some. We might still do some watch parties for basketball coming up as well. Cross our fingers on that one. But football for sure. So make sure you are subscribed right here. YouTube.com/@RollTideTV. The next player on our list here, Rylan Dillard Allen. He's a 3-star safety, number 481 overall, number 41 safety in this class. But then he is the number 5 player from Arizona. And I understand he's ranked a little bit lower than a lot of Alabama fans necessarily like to see. But Kalen DeBoer and Courtney Morgan just do a phenomenal job, whether that being at Washington, and I suspect that it'll be the same way here at Alabama too. They find a lot of diamonds in the rough. Guys that, there's so many high school recruits out there. These recruiting sites can't see them all. They're not all going to camp at their camps. So unless that happens, they're not going to move up necessarily in their rankings. He was only offered by Alabama a couple weeks ago on May 17th. So as soon as he got that offer, he immediately booked an official visit with Alabama. And he was also being pursued by Kalen DeBoer's staff when he was at Washington. So he is a guy that that Kalen DeBoer has, he's talked to before and has been building that relationship with him so far, in this recruiting cycle. Shakai Mills-Knight, 3-star running back, number 33 running back in this class, number 438 overall. He is former teammates with Amari Jefferson. He's the number 15 player out of the state of Tennessee. And I really like the build on this kid. Going into his senior season, he's 6'1", 200 pounds. So you get him into, Alabama's weight room and, pack on, another 15, 20 pounds? Kid could be an absolute stud. He told Bama Online the other day that that Miami is currently the leader for him in his recruitment, and Alabama only has one running back so far in this class. Anthony Rogers is the only running back so far, and Mills-Knight does have 3 more visits coming up for him. He'll be at Auburn, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. So, we'll see where it goes from here. But like I've said, previously, getting a kid on campus as well as, just being one of those, lower ranked recruits doesn't necessarily mean anything for me. Mal Waldrop, 3-star offensive tackle, number 496, number 40 offensive tackle overall in this class. He's the number 21 player from the state of Alabama. Big difference there. He's from Central High School in Phoenix City, so you can get those in-state guys to stay in-state. That's a really, really big deal. And Alabama sees this kid. He's playing tackle now, but Alabama does see this kid translating probably to the interior, whether that's guard or center. They think he could probably do both. He's listed at 6'5", 320 pounds on 247 Sports. And of note, his dad is an Alabama legacy guy. His dad played for Alabama 1998 to 2002, and with some of these lower ranked guys, especially along the offensive line, I think it's important to remember that, just because they are lower ranked, I think that helps a little bit in this era of the transfer portal. Alabama takes a chance on you. You go there, kind of, they scratch my back, I scratch their back kind of thing. Maybe that means that they don't necessarily think that they're going to start in year 1 or 2 or 3. Maybe it takes that 4th year for them to really get involved as a starter, on the team. And, at the end of the day, offensive line is one of those positions that, it might take a few years for these guys to develop. So we'll keep an eye on Mal Waldrop, and Alabama does not yet have an offensive lineman in this recruiting class. So get in the comment section right now. Let me know what offensive lineman you think is going to commit to Alabama first in this 2025 class. We talked about a few guys today. You also got some other guys like Ty Haywood. He's a really big target for Alabama. His mom reaching out to Keelan Russell's mom reached out to Ty Haywood on Twitter earlier today, asking for her contact information because they're doing some recruitment themselves. Jackson Lloyd, another guy that Alabama really likes a lot, as well as Micah DeBose from Viger High School down there in Mobile, Alabama. Took an unofficial visit to Alabama on Tuesday. So, it's always a good thing when those guys just kind of pop into town and say, what's up? They can get in their ear, just, talk, get to know each other, look at some film, so I really like where Alabama's going on the offensive line. I like the guys that they're looking at, but nobody's committed so far. So get in the comments section. Let me know who you guys think will be the first offensive lineman commit for Alabama here in the 2025 recruiting cycle.